welcome to SVG-TV News for Tuesday, December 29th, 2015. I am Jennifer Richardson with the details. The ceremonial opening of the first session of the 10th Parliament was held here early this afternoon since the December 9th, 2015 general elections, in which the Unity Labour Party has been declared a winner by a one-seat majority. The House, which consists of 21 members, 13 on the government side and 9 on the opposition side, came to order at 4 p.m. and saw the swearing-in of new Speaker Jomo Thomas and Deputy Speaker Carlos James, along with the swearing-in of MPs and other senators. In his congratulatory remarks, Prime Minister and the member for North Central Windward, Dr. Ralph Gonsalves, thanked the 65,000-plus voters who came out and cast their votes for all 4 political parties in the December 9th, 2015 general elections.
To congratulate the 8 elected members on the government side for their successes in the election. I would like also to congratulate the 7 elected representatives on the opposition side who were noticed as Unity Party. I want to congratulate Mr. Speaker, the 4 senators on the government side for the appointment by His Excellency, the Governor General on the advice of the Prime Minister, and the 2 senators on the opposition side who were appointed by the Governor General on the advice of the leader of the opposition.
Expressing his opinion on the challenge of the results by the NDP, Prime Minister Gonsalves said that his government will not be troubled by any attempt of disruption or by misguided and misinformed partisan politics. He further noted that he and his ministers of government are there to do the business for the people of SVG, which they have done and will continue to do.
Those unheard are sweeter. You may have 100 or 200 persons, even noise, outside. But the sweeter melodies in law and in electoral politics is that unheard melody, which 34,246 persons went to music and marked their ballot. I say it again. No protest by persons who are misguided as to the law and the facts would in any way trouble this story. As Prime Minister, at any time, after prayerful consideration, that the Lord directs me to advise the Governor General to dissolve Parliament, I can have the dissolution of Parliament effective and have fresh living. So those who clamor for elections, I advise them, be careful, you may actually get what you want.
It is important to note that the members of the opposition left the House as the Prime Minister was about to give his congratulatory remarks. Having served as a senator for the ULP and being well acquainted with the running of Parliament, Jomo Thomas was sworn in as the Speaker of the House of Assembly, taking his oath of allegiance during the first session of the 10th Parliament. Thanking his successor, former Speaker of the House, Hendrik Alexander, for his work and dedication towards his post, Thomas said that he looks forward to the work ahead and congratulated his fellow members, whom he says have worked diligently to obtain their positions. He also advised all members of the House to take their responsibilities very seriously.
all of the persons who are elected and those who are selected will take their responsibility in a way that is befitting of the job which we all hold. I can guarantee you that I will take my responsibilities to the best of my ability. And I understand the standing orders, I understand the rules, I understand the Constitution of St. Vincent and the Grenadines, and I have a good knowledge of all of the politicians who are sitting in front of me and those who have been parted. So I will exercise my authority to do justice to the confidence which this Parliament has placed in me.
With a shared aim at creating a fresh look to the face of politics, both the ruling ULP and opposition NDP welcomed new faces among their ranks. Sitting in the House of Assembly for the very first time are Minister St. Clair Jimmy Prince and Senators Deborah Charles and Carlos James on the government side, with Senators Dr. Julian Ferdinand and Marcia Banwell on the side of the opposition. The tentative date for the next sitting of the House of Assembly is January 21st, 2016. On the outside, just before they enter the Assembly chamber, our news team caught up with the ruling Unity Labour Party Senator and Deputy Speaker Carlos James, as well as the Speaker of the House, Jomo Thomas. They both shared their sentiments about being in the House of Assembly.
It is an important day in the development of our democracy. I'm taking over from a speaker who has been there for 15 years. He has set a high standard. I hope to continue and to surpass the standard which he has set and to surpass the standard which every other speaker has set. I know the rules, I know the Constitution of St. Vincent and the Grenadines, and I intend to adhere to those.
Anything for the public out there, you know, the masses, any?
No, I don't. I think that, again, this is our democracy. If people feel aggrieved, people can feel free to protest. There was a matter in the court. I know the court ruled against the application which the opposition made. I don't know where else the opposition may want to take their legal action. I don't know where else they want to take their protests, but that's part of the democracy of St. Vincent and the Grenadines, and I hope to see that work.
I'm quite excited. It's the government's return, again, the Unity Labour Party, and we're showing that the majority of the people in this country has given the ULP its mandate to continue its leadership and governance in St. Vincent and the Grenadines. I'm quite happy, and no doubt that the 34,000 persons who voted for the Unity Labour Party are indeed quite happy that they've given the mandate to the ULP again.
What will be your focus? You're a new senator. What will be your focus?
Well, primarily my role is really to work in the aspect of the governance in terms of making representations in terms of private member bills and pushing the agenda of the government in power.
How do you feel about the protests?
Well, it's something that quite obviously a lot of us are not really focusing on this. Our order of business is really what has taken place inside the House of Parliament, and I think by and large, we are focused, and our mandate is to continue in terms of what we're doing in terms of leadership and governance.
Our news team also caught up with the two senators for the New Democratic Party, attorney at law Marcia Barnwell and businessman Dr. Jules Ferdinand, who expressed how they feel about their appointments.
It's a very good feeling. It's an awesome feeling to be able to represent young women and women of St. Vincent and the Grenadines, and I'm really honored to have been asked to take up this position and having accepted it. Hard work and good representation on behalf of the people of St. Vincent and the Grenadines, all people of St. Vincent and the Grenadines.
Are there any specific issues that you would be championing?
Well, to begin with, issues close to my heart will be on issues related to women, education and agriculture and the environment, agriculture and the environment.
Well, it's good to have an opportunity to serve at that level. It would be a learning process for me, first time in the House, but I'm sure with the guidance that I am going to get from my colleagues, we'll make it work.
What are some of the issues that you'll be looking into?
I'm particularly interested in the employment levels, and so even as we view the budget, which we hope will be put forward shortly, we'll be able to look at that and see how some of our own plans can come forward to the benefit of our people. We have a country to build, and I would like to think that whichever government is in authority, that they would look at the plans of the other parties too in terms of what they put forward.
Outside Parliament today, supporters of the opposition New Democratic Party, the NDP, voiced their displeasure with the Unity Labour Party being sworn into office as they continue to claim that the elections were not free and fair.
We conduct we don't have no bad time for control. We have control everything. We not please what happened in St. Benson.
Because Vincent and to call and they want handout. But I don't hate for handout. I come out here for equal rights and justice.
What is nothing to smile about?
We need equal right and justice. We need what we vote for. We should get justice.
And why are you doing something like this?
Because we want justice.
You just know that you formed this government fairly because you win 8 seats. And why Mr. Gonsalve have win 7 seats and he in the House Assembly? Tell Mr. Gonsalve, come out assembly and give Mr. Eustace his chance because this belongs to him.
Mr. Eustace needs justice and need a by-election. And I can't imagine myself living the next 5 years under this wicked regime. Even he already buy out the top echelon of the police force. They are here trying to intimidate people and doing all wickedness on the street. I cannot support this government, and I am just a poor woman. I don't have riches, nothing for them to take away from me.
Supporters of the ruling Unity Labour Party were also on the sideline and were not bashful about showing their support for their members of Parliament.
I think they should have more behavior. It's 4 in a row, and it's for 5 more years, and might be for 10 more years. Take the losses and go. Take the losses and go.
I think the people and them, they're very disrespectful because they did not appreciate the national anthem. When the anthem was playing, they keep knocking drum, and that is not very good at all.
Thank God for Camelo. I pray the Wednesday morning when I go to vote, I pray for Camelo. And I say, thank God, Camelo come in my team.
Our leader will be one of the greatest leaders for all times around the Caribbean. He's one of the greatest. And he should go in the Guinness Book of Records for 4 in a row. I don't think anybody else ever make that. And we should congratulate Dr. Ralph.
Vote, and we voted fair and square, and they must accept the results because every election they never accept, and this time that's why we voted for the ULP 4 terms, and they must satisfy with it. Well, hey, I rally day and night, sleepless night. Right now I'm tired because I know my Prime Minister, my government has worked very hard for this campaign here, and we come out successfully. For the NDP for say that they win, they never win. 4 terms, and we go through and we win it 4 terms in a row, and we're heading for 5 terms.
I do not consider that the applicant has shown any grounds, far less any strong grounds, to grant the application. That was part of the ruling by Justice Brian Cutter in the High Court yesterday for an application made by the New Democratic Party candidate for Central Leeward, Benjamin Exeter, in seeking certain electoral documents from the December 9th general elections. In the case number SVG-TV 2015/0193, the applicant, Ben Exeter, was represented by Stanley John QC and Maya Eustace, while the respondent, the Supervisor of Elections, Sylvia Findley, was represented by Anthony Astafan SC, Richard Williams, and Graham Ballers. Justice Cuttle outlined that the application made for an order to produce election documents, which are at present in the custody of the Supervisor of Election. However, no suggestion was made that there exists any danger that those documents are in any way at risk of being tampered with. He cited the authors of Haysbury's Law of England, 4th edition, reissue, volume 15, paragraph 851 on the matter, which stated that strong grounds for making an order must be shown, and the court must be satisfied that the application for it is made in good faith and will rarely, if ever, grant it unless a petition or prosecution has been instituted or is about to be instituted and it is shown to be really required. Using the example of the Lancashire Darwen Division case 1885, Justice Cuttle expounded that the High Court felt that the grounds existed for permitting an inspection to see whether the presentation of an election petition was merited. He further noted that in the case before this court, there is no issue of overlooked votes and that there has been no complaint about the preliminary vote. There has been no complaint about the accuracy of the count and that the applicant was represented at the final count. Representing the applicant, Stanley John, QC explained to the court that the respondent and her 3 legal representatives were objecting to certain disputed ballots at the final count. Those described as militated and did not count them at the final count of the ballots. Justice Cuttle concluded his ruling by stating that the application on the grounds presented and the evidence adduced epitomizes a fishing expedition. He said the court is also concerned about the application to inspect the counterfoils as well as the ballots. He says if this is allowed, it will be possible for the applicant to identify individual voters and see how they voted. Leader of the New Democratic Party, the NDP, Annie Eustace, says while he doesn't agree to the court ruling, his decision to come to Parliament is legally strategic.
So Eustace, tell us how you feel about coming to Parliament.
Hello?
How do you feel about coming to Parliament?
I don't feel anyway. We only come to Parliament for a legal reason. We don't recognize this government. We come to Parliament for a legal reason. Because under the rules we can lose our seats. We're not going to give them away. We are making a statement here. The statement is we don't recognize this regime.
Eustace said that while he will file the election petitions, but did not mention what constituencies he will be appealing for, as the deadline is the 30th December. He, however, pointed out that he will not be filing for more than 2 constituencies.
The court, as rule, they have a right to rule. I don't agree with you.
Is the NDP going to appeal?
We'll decide that tomorrow when we have our meeting.
What about the election petitions? Are you going to file
the deadline is the 30th tomorrow. They'll be filed. Right.
On the protest line today, the NDP central leeward candidate in the December 9th general elections, Benjamin Exeter, was taken into custody by the police. After they walked out of Parliament, the NDP MPs moved the protest action outside the Central Police Station. Cameraman Carlisle Douglas spoke to SVG-TV about what he had learned about the incident up to news time.
Well, from what I gather, representative for Central Leeward, Mr. Benjamin Exeter, was arrested. It's said that there was some scuffle with the police and he went into the barracks, and Mr. Eustace, Mr. Cummins, Mr. Friday, I think, and Major Leacock went into the studio, went into the police barracks, to his assistance. I didn't see the actual incident, but from what I heard, it said was a scuffle between Benjamin Exeter and the police, and they were taking him inside, and so then the crowd moved from in front of the Parliament building and came around here.
After much unrest among supporters, Annie Eustace, the party leader, came out of the station's gates, flanked by uniformed officers, and addressed the gathering.
What is happening? We noticed that Mr. Exeter had some bruises and so on his face, and it's important that he gets medical attention. That is our view. And we want him to go to get the medical attention, accompanied by somebody from our side and from the law enforcement, to go and get the attention. We're going to need that information ourselves if anything happens later on. So we are arranging with the police. And one of our people will go with him, and they go and have those medical examinations, which are important for us. We have to stay, we will be staying here awaiting Mr. Exeter's return from the hospital. But right now, he still has not been charged with anything.
Coordinator of the Windward Islands Farmers Association, Winfred Cozell Peters, says there needs to be broader discussion in relation to the development of the banana industry. In her address at the 15th Annual General Meeting of the Farmers of SVG Fair Trade Organization Incorporated yesterday at the Peace Memorial Hall, Peters noted that while there are a lot of challenges such as climate change which affect the industry, it is unfortunate that persons seem to only look at the issue of financing for the development of the industry.
All well and good, because we need resources to get what we need to get done happening effectively and efficiently. but we also need to be having broader discussions. We need to recognize as farmers and given the critical role that we play in terms of agricultural development, rural development, and job creation, that we need to as well have dialogue, have discussions on what the challenges are that are affecting us, what kind of policy support we need to do what we do better, what kind of strategies we need to put in place, programs and actions that will help us to weather this storm. I believe that a lot of persons are looking at fair trade, they're looking at the membership, they're looking at our production and the fact that we have not exported for a while, and they're thinking, this is it for fair trade. But I want to submit to you, just as the chairman has said, that I believe, even in economics, that everything is a cycle. There are times when you go down, but that does not mean that you cannot come back around and come right back up.
Pledging the support of the Ministry of Agriculture and himself in the rebuilding of what he said can once again be a strong and vibrant banana industry and fair trade organization, Chief Agriculture Officer Ashley Kane said that it often takes one or a few to make a difference. As he noted, the aim of the ministry is to have 3,000 acres of lands available to banana cultivation in the coming year.
From the UK market in a consistent way for some time, and as a consequence, a lot of our bananas have been going into the regional market. And I think it is fair to say that St. Vincent and the Grenadines has a very strong presence in the regional market, whether it's through the trafficking or otherwise. This is the second leg or the second prong of our strategy for the banana industry. So while we target the UK and the benefits which come from it, importantly, we would like to position ourselves in St. Vincent and the Grenadines as a source of choice for the export of good quality bananas within the Caribbean.
The Camden Park Methodist Church earlier today handed over a wheelchair to the Community Health Center as part of its missionary work, where they have decided to donate 20% of funds back into the community. Communications Officer with the Ministry of Health, Nika Anderson Isaacs, expressed appreciation on behalf of the ministry, noting that the community will benefit from the church's exceptional assistance.
Ministry of Health has been pushing the focus of health as shared responsibility, and we're very happy that the Methodist Church could see it fit in their social responsibility as well as their spiritual responsibility to see how best they can contribute and infiltrate our society in a way that is healthy and beneficial to our wellness.
Highlighting the purpose of the missionary fund, Pastor Reverend Adolph Davis said that it is a project designed to aid in the church's connection with the community.
We spend a lot of time trying to figure out what would be the best project. Fortunately for us, Nurse Joseph is a member of the congregation, and so she would have been able to contribute as to what would be a major need, both for the clinic and by extension for the community. For us here at Camden Park, the decision was made that we will donate a wheelchair to the clinic, and throughout the circuit, which is from Brighton to Chateaubelair, various other projects have been embarked on. Some have been giving books to school, and there's also going to be a circuit project, which is another percentage of the money is collected, and then we're also going to contribute to a project to the work of the district. So this is one of the various missionary efforts that we're having as we seek to give back to the community in a tangible way to really share the love of Jesus Christ.
Staff nurse at the Camden Park Clinic, Roxanne Joseph, thanked the church for its contribution, which she said will go a long way in improving the standard of healthcare in the community.
We want to assure you that it's going to go a long way in the promotion of healthcare here. One of the challenges we've been having is the transfer of clients from the health center to ambulance and various transportations and so forth. And now with our new wheelchair, this is going to make life so much easier for us. So we are extremely grateful. We want you to know that we're going to use this chair for the purpose that it was intended, and we're going to take utmost care of it. So we are extremely grateful, and we pray that God will continue to bless you so that you can be a blessing to us and others.
Osborne Brody, a resident of Otley Hall, has been arrested and charged for robbery. He is accused of arming himself with a knife and depriving Kevin Skinner of Belair of cash, a cell phone and other items on Christmas Day in Kingstown. He was also charged for abducting Skinner, taking him away without his consent. Woody was escorted before Chief Magistrate Rayshon Brong yesterday and was not allowed to plead to the charges as they were laid indictable. Chief Prosecutor Adolphus Delpesh had no objection to his bail, which was allowed in the sum of $6,000 with one surety. He was also ordered to report to the Central Police Station on Mondays between 6 a.m. to 6 p.m., surrender all travel documents to the court, and not to have any contact with the victim. March 21st, 2016 is the date set for the PI. Reports are that 2 other persons are wanted by the police in connection with the said offense. And Clinton Cambridge, a laborer of Sandhill, is now before the court on 3 separate charges of gun, ammunition, and drug offense. He was reportedly intercepted by the police on Boxing Day, December 26th, with 1 pistol, a large quantity of ammunition without the relevant licenses, and approximately 825 grams of marijuana at Sandhill. When he appeared in court today, Cambridge maintained his innocence. The court's prosecutor had no objection to his bail, which was granted in the sum of $20,000 with one surety. He was also ordered to surrender his travel documents. The matter has been adjourned to January 6, 2016 for trial.